The day before the battle, a detachment of approximately 115 British loyalists, or Tories, under the command of Captain Christian Huck, had arrived at the Bratton plantation looking for Colonel Bratton and other local leaders of the Patriot militia. Huck's force consisted of a troop of British Legion Dragoons, or light cavalry, commanded by Captain Huck himself, a company of New York Volunteer Provincial Infantry, commanded by Lieutenant William Adamson, and 2 battalions of Loyalist militia, commanded by Colonel Matthew Floyd and Colonel James Ferguson. For over a month, these troops, who were based at Rocky Mount on the Catawba River in Fairfield County, had roamed the upstate, confiscating food, cattle, horses, and arresting leaders of the rebel militia. In June 1780, Huck's force destroyed Fishing Creek Presbyterian Meeting House in Chester County and William Hill's Iron Works in York County, both of which were being used as bases by the local Patriot militia, or Whigs as they were commonly known. Huck arrived at Brattonsville on the evening of July the 11th, interrogated Bratton's wife, Martha, and was informed that her husband was not home. Huck then encamped his men in a field surrounding the house of James Williamson, a neighbor of the Brattons who lived about 300 to 400 yards southeast of the Bratton house. Unknown to Captain Huck, several companies of the local Whig or Patriot militia had assembled at a rendezvous point in northern Chester County for the purpose of intercepting and halting the British advance. The Whigs were commanded by several well-known militia officers from York, Chester, and Fairfield counties, including Colonel Bratton, William Hill, Andrew Neal, Edward Lacey, Richard Wynn, Captain John McClure, and Captain John Moffett. The combined Whig force, consisting of about 140 mounted soldiers, rode through the night and arrived at Brattonsville just before daybreak on the morning of the 12th. The Whigs caught the Loyalists completely by surprise and in a very brief and one-sided battle succeeded in inflicting heavy casualties on Captain Huck's command. Huck and several of his officers were killed, along with about 30 of the Loyalist militia and some of the cavalry, and about 50 more were wounded. The rest either fled the battlefield or were taken prisoner. The Whigs suffered one casualty, a man from Chester named Cannon. This brief engagement had the twofold effect of rallying support for the Patriot cause in the upstate and demonstrating to the British that South Carolina was not a conquered province, as they had boasted after the surrender of Charleston in May 1780. The Battle of Huck's defeat galvanized the Patriots in South Carolina and North Carolina and helped pave the way for the larger victories at Kings Mountain, Cowpens, and ultimately the British surrender at Yorktown in 1781.